Hello and welcome to Thinking Big Ecom. This is Module 1, Video 1. On behalf of myself, Simon Greenhosh, I'm a partner for this product, Kevin Byrne. Thanks a lot for joining us. In ecom over the last, Kevin's been involved. I've done really quite well in it over the last 3 years or so. Started up a business from scratch. And everything that you're going to learn in this course is basically everything that we've learned from dealing with suppliers, everything that is involved with running a proper real brand and a real business. Kevin actually has actually been to university to study e-commerce. I'll be doing the videos and the training, but a lot of the strategies that we're going to teach and the systems come from both of us. Everything that we've learned from ecom over the last 10 years or so combined. So this is the first and possibly the most important step, and it's niche selection. So this is getting started. You need to pick a niche that you're going to be involved in. So a niche, if you're brand new to this, then a niche might be something along the lines of skateboards or animals or extreme sports or outdoor sports or cycling, and we'll go into this in detail, and I'm going to teach you how to, throughout this entire module. This is the research module. We're going to cover niches and products, and I'm going to show you some steps that we go through in order to make sure that we're choosing niches that people are massively passionate about, and that we're going to validate them to make sure that they're on the rise, that there's products available in the niche and that are sort of innovative and new, and you're not just going to get stuck in the sort of same sort of Me Too scenario where you are selling the same products for the same niches as everybody else. We're going to show you how to stand out and build a real proper brand. Crucial that we do spend quite a lot of time on this. The way this course is set out, as I'm sure you're already aware if you've invested in it, is we're going to be splitting it up over 4 weeks, and we're probably going to add some extra sort of bonus weeks, some extra things that we've discussed putting into the course, but the main sort of core aspects of the course are 4 weeks, and that this allows you a good week to spend on each step, so that you're not going out there thinking that you know one aspect of it when you may well do, but you might pick up things from us, and it gives you plenty of time to sort of soak in the information and get out there and actually do it. And you might find that you come up with a lot better ideas when you've got plenty of time to, when you take your time and do this properly. So it is crucial that we spend a lot of time on this. Choosing something that you're interested in is a great way to start, a great place to start. If you're interested in something in your life, if you have a hobby, something that you're interested in, that's a great place to start, because you're gonna, if you enter, let's for example say, we'll just use some sort of cliched examples, fishing. You need to be able to speak like people who are experts speak in that niche. So you need to know the terminology, you need to know the words that people use, the slang that people use. You've got to know about the different lures. You've got to know about the different rods. As you can probably tell, I'm not a fisherman myself. But if I was going to create a business in fishing, which is completely possible, then I would want to become an expert in it. And that information is out there. We live in a golden age of information. That information is out there. But if you already know this information and you're already an expert in it, then it just makes life a lot easier for yourself. So then what we want to do when we go through this is we want to create a large list of potential niches. So we're going to use a few websites to help us. If you're really struggling for ideas, if you're starting right at the beginning, you don't know what to sell, you don't know what niche to enter, I'm going to start right at the beginning and show you how to uncover dozens, hundreds of potential niches and how to set them up into sort of categories, niches and sub-niches that allow you to sort of plan out how your whole business is going to work. So we'll use magazines.com. So the general idea with this is if there's a magazine about it, then it's a big enough niche. If there's a magazine in print that people buy monthly and people are prepared to actually buy the magazine, then they're prepared to buy products in that niche. And there are dozens, probably hundreds of these magazines. So it's a really good way. And then we're going to use Alexa.com as well, which is a bit of an old school sort of IM tool, internet marketing tool. But there's a section of it, alexa.com/top sites, and that shows you the top sites in sort of create a big file that's like going to be your sort of business plan. So this file is going to have everything that you need to know about that industry, the demographic, people, the way people talk, what kind of posts they're interested in, what kind of content they're interested in, what websites they hang out on, a list of all those websites. So down the line in the future, you can actually advertise on those websites. We're using banner ads and this kind of stuff. So it's this is like a full-on plan. This is not just throw up a Shopify store, get some drop shipping products, test them out, see what happens. This is building a proper plan and a proper business with a proper brand, with real packaging, and the way we run this is we have an office with a sort of workshop, and we have a packaging room, and we have a storeroom where we keep all our stock. So that's the level it can go to. If we're going to teach you some techniques, so that if that's not what you want, then you can set it up in a way that you can run this from home. But the sky really is the limit with this, and we're going to set it up in a way that allows for expansion as well. So it allows for us to scale from a really great product idea into an entire brand, an entire larger store. So as I just said, we want to choose. So what we want to do for this, we want to choose a sub niche within niches for launch, because we've got to have something to get our teeth into in the beginning. We've got to look for some products, and we need to narrow that down. We don't want to choose sort of a larger niche like, say, crafting, and then not know what to sell in that niche. So then we want to build brands around the larger niche. So for example, in our business, our larger niche is wooden watches. So like eco-friendly, environmentally friendly, handmade wooden watches. But then our sub niches within that are the wedding niche, where we sell them watches for wedding people who are getting married, wedding gifts. Then we have all sorts of sub niches within them, where we have watches that have got icons engraved on them, so like Michael Jackson or David Bowie. Or then we also have Father's Day is like a sub niche within our larger wooden watch. I suppose our larger niche is really gifts to some degree, but you need to sort of tap down into the niche to find your starting point. But then you build your brand around the larger niche. So this allows for scaling and expansion later. So for example, you might decide to go into the cycling niche. Now cycling, you could probably potentially get away with a website that's just cycling. You could. But if you build a brand, a following, a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a YouTube channel, an Instagram account that is based around outdoor sports, and you've got cycling sections within that, that allows for much, bigger growth, and it really does work really good. This, I mean, like I say, you could just create a cycling brand, but doing it this way means that it allows you to be able to spread out your advertising. It just gives you so many more options, and if something's not quite working, you can switch to something else. So if cycling sort of has, I don't know, let's say, for example, in winter nobody's really buying cycling products. I don't know whether that's true or not, but let's say more people are buying in summer, which probably is true. In winter you can switch to skiing or snowboarding or whatever it is. So this is how we try to set up our stores. So let's head over the shoulder as we go through niche research. Okay, so here we are over on the laptop, the browser, and I'm going to run through gathering and collecting niche ideas, sub-niche ideas. I've actually switched this up a little bit at the last minute. In the last video, we worked on creating the file. If you remember what I decided to do, is so I had one sheet on the on the file that was for niches. Well, I'm actually going to go sub niches here as well, and I think that's important because when we come to decide on a store, when we come to decide on which one we're going to actually go with, it may well be, as I discussed in the first part of this video, that we will end up wanting to actually find products in one of the sub niches, but our site is actually about the niche. So our, the overall brand is about the niche. So, for example, again, to use our overall niche might be outdoor sports. So we create an outdoor sports brand, and our sub niches, we might have skiing, snowboarding, cycling, mountaineering, all this kind of stuff. And like the overall goal with this, and this is where you should be getting excited about this. You could the overall idea here is that you are building a brand that you. So imagine you have snowboarding bags, skiing bags. I don't know if these things even exist. I'm just sort of musing, but these have got your logos on them, your brand. So you are creating a proper real business, like a real business, not just going and drop shipping something. We are going to teach that if that's the route you want to go. But what you want to be aiming for here, in my opinion, because this is what we've done, this is what my partner Kevin's done, and it's about picking a niche and then building a solid brand in that niche. Getting traffic and stuff from Facebook and wherever else is getting harder and harder, and it's more expensive and more expensive, and we're going to touch on that later on the course. We have some pretty clever ways of getting people to the website for cheap. So creating value on your products allows you to increase your prices. Allowing you to increase your prices, you stand out. It's like I don't know if any of you are from Europe or we have a beer here called Stella Artois, and the sort of slogan for that company is reassuringly expensive, and it's true. You want to be able to demand higher prices because you want to be seen as being a premium brand, and you do that by adding value. Now, a lot of this stuff that you see, regardless of what it is, even if we're talking about Nike clothing or Adidas clothing or Adidas or however you pronounce it, this stuff is made in China, or it's made by people. And Nike and Adidas are adding value. They're adding value by adding their brand to it, and making it polished with the marketing, and making it shine, making it stand out. Now, that's an extreme example because we're not aiming to be Nike or Adidas, but if you can be the very best snowboard bag seller, if you can create the coolest, most sought-after snowboard bags, you think that's going to be a business that's going to see you financially well. It is. Okay, so a little bit of rambling from me there, but I just wanted to sort of try and get you excited about how this is all going to come together, and hopefully I did that. So, magazines.com. So as I said in the slides, if there's a magazine about it, then it is a big enough niche. Generally, a big enough niche. People are spending money. So running, golf. Obviously, golf is a huge one. There would be nothing to stop you creating the next, a cool, or finding a golf gadget or creating a golf clothing brand. There's nothing to stop you doing that. This stuff is really possible. If you can stand out, carve out a little sub niche within anything, So, ice hockey, fishing, guns, the Retriever Journal. I'm assuming that's some kind of dogs. I'm not sure. Maybe hunting, something like that. Sport fishing. Again, it's like a sub niche of a niche. A sub niche of a niche. Sport fishing is a sub niche of fishing even, and then fishing again is a sub niche of outdoor sports. The ring, so boxing. I think something like that would more be about people who are interested in watching boxing as opposed to people who are actually participating in it and will buy things. I'm not sure. I'd struggle with boxing. I know a lot of people do this, and MMA and equipment might be one that you could go down. For example, let's use that as an example then. Let's use that as an example. Let's go, so niche, I guess fighting sports. And then you would go boxing. You would go karate. You would go You go boxing, you go karate, you would go MMA, you would go judo, you would go. Obviously, I'm starting to taekwondo. I'm sure that's how you spell it, but it looks to be right. So let's see if we can expand out on that. So fighting sports. So then we can go to Alexa, and we can go. So this is alexa.com/top sites. So it's the top 500 sites on the web. But if you click category, it gives you a huge number of sites within each category. So for example, here sports. I'm not sure whether this is going to go. So this is going to go. So you've got martial arts. So there's 3,000. So okay, let's go for our. These are all potential niches. So these are all potential. Well, actually, that's not quite true. In some cases, it's going to be a niche. So, for example, martial arts will be a niche, and then all the different martial arts within it would be the sub niches. Now, you might go. So we've got things like airsoft. Now, airsoft could come under us. So that might be something like the niche there might be something like shooting sports. Not really sure what you call it. If you're into that kind of thing, you'll be laughing at me now, and you'll know exactly what where I'm missing. But I imagine like airsoft and paintball and that kind of thing would come under the same. So paintball and airsoft would be a sub niche of shooting sports, so that kind of thing. So and then you've got obviously skating, skateboarding. See if I can just quickly find any others. I'm thinking under extreme sports. So extreme sports, if you click extreme sports, these are then all websites. These are all base jumping. So you'd go back really. You'd go back, and these are not all necessarily, because magazines and e-zines, you would get information just by clicking those actually and visiting the sites. So X Games, so there you go, skateboarding, snowboarding, BMX, motocross. So you could create an extreme sports brand. Let's just stick with the martial arts example. Okay, so there's absolutely tons in here. Let's go for the main ones. Okay, so we'll call this martial arts then. So martial arts, boxing, karate. I'm assuming boxing's going to be. Boxing's not actually in there, which is interesting. Jiu-jitsu, karate, kickboxing. Okay, so kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, wrestling, I guess. It's not in there, but I'm assuming that. So submission fighting and MMA, so we've got MMA already. Taekwondo we've already got, and obviously the mistake I made with the spelling on that was it's separate words. Didn't realise that. Learn something new every day. Okay, so I'll leave it at that because you get the picture. But let's have a look for some more. So I'll try and do 2 or 3, and then hopefully you'll get the picture. And then the idea after this video is for you to go away and do this. You can't do too many. If you create a martial arts brand today, what's to stop you in 6 months' time? Especially if you go, so let's say this one here, Deep Info. So Deep Info would be Deep Info Martial Arts. And then you've got your Deep Info on whichever other niches you uncover in here. There's nothing to stop you in 6 months after you've established a martial arts brand, going and creating one in whatever other niche you get into. So let's keep looking. So we've got that's one sports brand then. Again, we can pick our categories from here as well. So Alexa.com, extreme sports, they're all sports, aren't they? So we'll leave the sports. We'll leave martial arts as just one sports. In fact, let's go. No, okay. As you can see, I am doing this on the fly. So let's just have a look what's in society. Okay, this kind of stuff is interesting actually because, for example, whatever I'm going to say now, I'm not choosing a single side. I'm just pointing out some hot topics. So, for example, you might want to create a political brand of some kind, and you might have products, T-shirts, funny slogans on bags, that kind of thing for, say, atheists. So people who, there are a lot of pages out there that you can go to, or there are a lot of memes and quotes and things like this that could be put onto items to sell. So you could have an atheist brand, you could have a flat Earth brand, you could have, they're all very very hot topics. A little bit. Personally, I would say I wouldn't necessarily get into them, but there's a lot of people out there who would choose. Let's see, so religion and spirituality, 77,000. So these are all potential, like atheism. So atheism is a potential overall brand in a lot of ways, or you might go for more of sort of like a brand that is. So it might be quotes, some kind of quotes, and you might have atheism quotes, you might have political quotes, you might have spiritual quotes, and these, excuse me, and them quotes might be on the products that you're selling. So that's another idea. So that's another idea, and then we've got. So let's have a look at some more arts. I'm interested in arts because while I was thinking music, you see, I was thinking music because I wasn't with music. You see, there's a lot of things that, like, music is a little bit like the animals one. So with animals, you could have amazing designs printed onto, say, shoes, onto. I'm sure Kevin won't mind me saying that's the thing that he does in his. But that's one of the things that he does in his business. He just doesn't really want his particular designs showing throughout this course, which I understand. But he's basically, he is. He is selling mostly animal products, and they are the designs are printed onto bags, car seat covers, phone cases, these kind of things. So animals is a little bit like the music industry, and in that you have people that will be passionate about playing the piano, about guitars, and within those sub niches. So music website would be one. So I think I'm going to go with this one because it does interest me. So music, and I think, let's say for example, when I finish this video, I'm going to expand out on this. So you've got piano, guitar, and then what I generally do for something like this is music, instruments. So let's say we go in fact, let's not go in music, let's go instruments. Now with instruments, the interesting thing is that you could sell accessories for the instruments, plus products that people who like those instruments would be interested in buying, such as, the old sort of mugs, T-shirts, or if you come across a product that is like really innovative for someone who plays the guitar, and you can brand that up as your own, or maybe it's a guitar stand or a guitar, whatever it is, and you make it the best guitar stand that there is. Or if it's a piano, I mean, I'm clutching at straws when it comes to piano. I'm not going to be able to, off the top of my head, come up with anything meaningful. But all these instruments. So let's go for instruments. So instruments. Okay, so they've branded it. So they've stringed instruments. So ultimate guitar, see, this is where we get into the, so, okay, so here we go. So these are all string instruments. So you could even go string instruments. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how big is the community going to be for mandolin players. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you. You may just tend to go guitar, and then, so guitar, maybe banjo, like guitar, banjo. Let's look at some electronic instruments, like sort of DJs. So that would be a good one actually as well. So DJs, because you could create some decent products for DJs for sure. T-shirts and that kind of stuff as well. So percussion instruments. Oh, we've got keyboard, drums, So you get the idea, and this is how you fill out. So for example, when we go to start the store, you may want to go and find the best drummer's product that you possibly can, or you might want to fill up the site with 5 to 10 keyboard products, 5 to 10 drum products, DJs, banjos, guitars, whatever, and then but your overall site is like for fans of instruments. So the site might be called, I don't know, it's not going to be available, but instrumental.com. And then you've got a piano section, a guitar section, a banjo section, a DJ section, and you can fill up the website with drop shipping products or products that you're just adding a little bit of margin to, but you want to build this brand around it. You want to build this brand and you want to make it speak to the people who are interested in the products that you're selling, and that's the key. So go away from this video now and create, use the template that I've created for you. Fill it out like this. Go away, come up with a good list of niches and a load of sub niches for that niche, and then then what we're going to do is start to fill out this as we go through the rest of the module. Okay, thanks a lot for watching this video. My name's Simon Greenhouse, and I will see you in the next.